It was a cold October evening when Liam, Ava, and Noah decided to spend the weekend in a cabin deep inside Blackwood Forest. They wanted peace, silence, and a break from city life. The photos online showed a cozy wooden house surrounded by tall pine trees, but as they drove through the dark, foggy forest, the road became narrow and broken. Their phone signals vanished, and the GPS froze. Still, they laughed it off, thinking it was just a bad network area. After hours of driving, the car finally stopped in front of the cabin. It looked much older than the pictures, its paint peeled, the windows cracked, and the door covered in strange carved symbols. Circles, eyes, and triangles, almost like someone was trying to keep something away. "Creepy art," Noah joked, but Ava didn't laugh. She felt uneasy, as if the forest itself was watching them. Inside, the air was cold and heavy. The wooden floor creaked loudly with every step. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and an old grandfather clock ticked, even though its hands didn't move. On the fireplace, 3 black and white photographs hung on the wall. They showed a family, a man, a woman, and a little boy, all staring at the camera without smiling. The boy's eyes looked strangely real, almost alive. That night, as they unpacked, Liam lit the fireplace and made dinner. Everything seemed calm until around midnight. Ava awoke to a soft tapping sound coming from the roof. It was slow and steady, like footsteps. She thought it was just a branch moving in the wind, but then she heard a whisper. It was faint but clear, a child's voice saying, "Help me." She froze. The voice came again, this time closer. "Please, help me." Ava sat up, breathing fast. She looked at the window and saw a pale face pressed against the glass, small, gray, with hollow eyes. She screamed, waking Liam and Noah, but when they turned on the flashlight, the window was empty, just fog. In the morning, they found dozens of small, barefoot prints around the cabin, in the mud, on the porch, even on the windows. It looked like children had been walking around all night. Noah laughed nervously, saying, "Maybe there's a village nearby." But there wasn't. The nearest town was over 40 miles away. While exploring the attic, Liam found an old leather journal covered in dust. It belonged to someone named Thomas Heller, the man from the photograph. The journal described strange events. One entry said, "They whisper through the trees every night. I think they're children, but they have no faces." Another read, "They call my name. They want me to stay forever." The last page was written shakily, as if in panic. "Do not stay after dark. The forest doesn't let you leave." That evening, everything became worse. The forest outside turned unnaturally quiet. No birds, no wind, only silence. Then the temperature dropped. Their breath became visible inside the cabin. Then the whispers started again, childlike voices, soft and distant. "Come play with us, please. It's cold." Noah grabbed the flashlight and opened the door. 3 small figures stood among the trees, pale, children, motionless. Their eyes were hollow and their mouths whispered words he could not understand. He shouted, but they vanished into the fog.
When he turned around, the cabin door slammed shut behind him. Inside, Ava cried and held Liam's hand. The whispers grew louder. From the walls, from the floor, from everywhere. Then came the knocking, slow at first, then faster, on the windows, the walls, and finally under the floorboards. The fire flickered and all lights went out. In total darkness, they heard footsteps moving inside the cabin. Ava whispered, "Liam, someone's in here." He turned on his phone light and saw tiny handprints all over the walls, wet and red, moving slowly toward the fireplace. The journal suddenly fell open by itself. A line appeared across the page in fresh ink. "You should not have come." Then, from behind them, a deep voice whispered, "We can't let you leave." They ran outside into the fog, screaming. But every path they took led back to the same cabin. No matter which direction they went, they always ended up standing in front of it again. The forest had trapped them. Hours passed. The fog thickened, and the trees began to move, not with wind, but as if something unseen was shifting between them. Whispers turned into laughter, echoing from every side. Liam shouted, "What do you want from us?" The voice replied softly, "Stay with us, forever." Then they saw her, a tall shadow standing near the trees, a woman in a torn white dress, her head tilted, her hair covering her face. She moved slowly toward them. The children appeared behind her, dozens of them, pale and hollow. The woman lifted her head. Her eyes were dark holes, and she said in a broken voice, "You took their place." Ava fainted. Liam tried to carry her, but when he looked at Noah, he was gone. The fog swallowed him whole. Liam dragged Ava back to the cabin, the only place with any light. Inside, the fire had reignited on its own, burning red. On the wall, the photographs had changed. The faces in the photos now looked exactly like them. Liam, Ava, and Noah, smiling coldly. Suddenly, Noah's voice echoed from the hallway, whispering, "Come back. It's safe now." But when he turned, it wasn't Noah. It was the pale boy from the photograph. His eyes were black, his mouth dripping dark liquid. The boy smiled and said, "Now you'll never leave." The fire exploded and the cabin filled with screams. Everything went dark. Days later, forest rangers found the cabin empty. There was no sign of struggle, no blood, no bodies, only the old journal lying open on the table. A new line had appeared on the last page. They have new names now: Liam, Ava, and Noah. The rangers sealed the area, warning people not to go near. But every year someone ignores the warnings and disappears. Locals say they hear children's laughter at night, echoing through the trees. Some travelers have even claimed to see faint lights from a cabin deep inside the forest, even though the old cabin was burned down years ago. And if you ever walk through Blackwood Forest at night, you might hear a soft whisper in the fog, a child's voice calling gently, "Come play with us, just for a while." But remember, once you enter that forest, it never lets you leave.